For thousands of years, the people of every religious tradition have had sacred journeys. These are traditionally referred to as pilgrimages. People make a journey to a sacred place. They make a journey to a sacred place sometimes because they have a question on their heart and they're looking for clarity. They make a journey to a sacred place sometimes because they want to ask God for a favor. Life is a pilgrimage. All of life is a pilgrimage. But sometimes we need a pilgrimage to rediscover life. For decades, I've been making pilgrimages, traveling with groups on pilgrimages. I've seen the life-changing impact of these sacred journeys. The idea is that we go on pilgrimage, but then we bring the paradigm of pilgrimage back to our lives. The truth is that prayer also is a pilgrimage. In prayer, we make a journey. We make a journey from where we are to be with God. We make a journey from one place in our heart to another place in our heart. We make a journey. Prayer is a sacred journey. Prayer is a pilgrimage. Very often, as I've traveled around the world the past 30 years, the MC or the event organizer would stand up at the beginning of an event, and as they get in the crowd settled, one of the questions they often ask is like, who has traveled the furthest? And people will put their hands up and I've come from this city, or I've come from this state, or I've come from this country. They talk about the longest journey people made to be there in that place on that night. The Native American Sioux people, they believed that the longest journey was the journey from the head to the heart. They believed that this was the longest journey the human being could make. Their wisdom endures today. It's very easy for us to get caught up in our head. It's very easy for us to ignore our feelings and be caught up in our thoughts. The opposite is also very easy. It's very easy for us to get caught up in our feelings and ignore our rational thought. And of course, God has given us both faculties for very good reason. He's given us both faculties so we can call on them in the best balance at the most appropriate time. But we do live in a fairly heady age. We do live in a fairly cerebral time. If people can't explain it, if it can't be rationalized, if it can't fit into a clear logic, people tend to question things or think that things don't exist. And so we are constantly having to make this journey from the head to the heart. How are you doing? When you come to your prayer these last few days, do you feel like it's a prayer of the head, or do you feel like it's a prayer of the heart? Or do you feel that you've found that balance? My experience has been, some days we find that balance. Some days that balance is beautiful and intoxicating. Other days we're stuck in our head, churning over a problem or a situation. And other days we're stuck in our hearts. Maybe we've experienced a heartbreak or disappointment or betrayal, and we're stuck in our hearts and the pain that those things cause us. Other days we're stuck in our hearts with great joy. But let's continue to take seriously the journey from the head to the heart so that we can participate in this prayer of the heart that we're talking about.